You and I are God's Stradivarius. We are not meant to silence or to keep the message of our lives in a box hidden. It's to transform the world. And if we're going to engage in Operation Waldo, reaching the South Shore area, we have to know the gospel. We have to know these things that we've talked about today. You know, I'm a big fan of the show Star Trek: The Next Generation. Are you guys familiar with that? I love Star Trek: The Next Generation. It would always finish, right? It would always finish with everybody in the control room. Captain Jean-Luc Picard sitting in his chair. The bald leader. Right? It was around that time Bald was beautiful again. And to his right was Riker, Commander Riker. You know, you got Dato. Just cool names. You know, the psychologist, the doctor. They're all in there. And then he looks into the camera, right? And he says, engage. We must engage. Father in heaven, dear God, we're here today. Lord, I ask God that you help us to engage. Help us to engage, God. Father God, this is your community, and God, we want to share the love of Christ. We want to invite people who do not know you into the kingdom. And Lord, there are a ton of ways we can do this. Hey, how many of you wrote down a name? Look at me right now. I know I'm praying. How many of you wrote down a name? Did you write down a name? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go off the camera. Here's what I want you to do. I have Sharpies. I want to invite you to come up here and just put the first name of the person you're going to commit to engage on this cross. I don't want you to leave today without beginning the process of engaging. Now, as the worship team is going to do their thing, and I know this is our time for our offering and all that, but we kind of know what to do. So I want this to be for you. I want you to take these Sharpies, they're up here, and write the first name of someone on the cross. Can we get this? Can you show it for me? He's going to set this up. I want us to do this. Do this now. Let's engage right today. Let's not wait. You're going to commit to pray for this person. You're going to commit to share with this person. And just write their name up here as they lead us and sing.
Just think of a name.
At the cross, right?
As you're thinking of a name, I want you to think of the consequences. Pastor read a verse in Corinthians a few minutes ago, and he talked about the witness. Verse 2 of that particular chapter I find interesting. Paul says, we don't need a letter of recommendation because your lives are a letter of recommendation. Our ministry is obvious in you. The person, that name that you're thinking of, that person that you can reach, that maybe only you can reach, one day can have that same testimony. You have to be willing to be that witness, to be that message, so that one day that you can look at them and say, you're my testimony in the love of God. Nothing stopped me from reaching you because you were too important to me. That's the message Paul was talking about in that previous verse, and it's something very powerful. You're thinking of that name. That's the reality, that today is a beginning, and it will have an end. It'll end one way or another. You'll choose to take that step and make that commitment, or you won't. It's just that